Welcome to Progress Not Perfection. My name is Della, and today I am at Renegade Sober Yoga, and it is part of recovery. Again, recovery can mean many different things for a lot of people, and I'm super excited that I got to come down here, but I don't really see anybody yet. So I'm going to go track somebody down to figure out what exactly it is that they do at Sober Yoga. And hopefully, if you guys watch this and are interested, and I get the permission, I'll give you the address and come on down to Renegade Sober Yoga. Well, I finally found somebody, but they were actually doing class, and I popped in and I took some videos. I hope you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
I want to make you completely aware that this will be televised on KCM as well as my YouTube channel. This is Sophia, and she was subbing tonight for
Heather.
Yeah. And you are not in recovery.
I am personally not in recovery. I can
Okay.
definitely speak to the project that we have going on here as well as the community, especially through Heather. That is actually how I got involved in the Knoxville community. I started coming to these classes and I just resonated with her teaching a lot.
So, what exactly got you into yoga?
Into yoga to begin with, definitely the meditative aspects of it, the ability to kind of clear my mind, release any tension that I was experiencing, whether that be emotional or physical.
Awesome. Well, I love the way that you did the class, and if you don't care, I'd like to show a couple of clips.
Absolutely.
And you guys can see what she can do. We'll be right back.
Every inhale, it's like a big gust of wind is coming in to clear out the mind. And with every exhale, you release that which does not serve you. Expanding on the inhale and settling on the exhale. On your next inhale, walk your hands over to the right, stretching out the left side body. Feel the ribs expand on the inhale, that slight contraction on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale back to center and inhale, walk your hands over to the other side. Inhale. Exhale back to center. You can massage your forehead into the mat. Perhaps use this as an opportunity to set an intention. Take any cats and cows feet. And from here, return to your neutral spine. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin all the way down to the mat. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra, maybe floating the hands, pulling your shoulder blades together. Exhale, chest back down to the mat. Push back into a child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips. Your foot is heavy like an anchor. Healing open the right hip. Maybe circle out the ankle or the knee. Exhale, foot back down to the mat. Inhale, left foot sweeps up into the sky. Exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips. Make any movement that feels good. Try to use the water to joints. Exhale the foot back down to the mat. Inhale the heels through center. Exhale and fall over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Bend the knees, sink your chest to the tops of the thighs. Gaze between the hands. Step or float top of the mat. Flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Ragdoll here. Hands can grab opposite elbows. Maybe a slight sway side to side. Once again, relax the back of the neck. Jaw and face. Feet are about 2 fist distance apart. play here, you can stay here if this feels really nice and opening. Maybe take these big open wings. Option to reach around with the bind. You can play with crow to headstand. Have some fun with it. You like to take crow, lifting the hips up slightly, walking the feet behind the wrists. Gaze a slight forward, deep bend in the elbows. Triceps become shoulders, and then lean forward. Use a block underneath the forehead. It's up to you. Yeah, nice. Put your hands down to mat, shift your hips up. Interlace your hands, back the head, sway side to side. Down to the mat. Take your feet about 2 fist distance apart beneath the hips. Peace fingers wrap around big toes. Inhale, lift halfway, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. So as deep a bend in the knees that you need to get there. Pulling your ears away from the shoulders. Release the binds. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Hold and hover in plank. Option to take it down to the knees as well for support. Exhale, slow chaturanga all the way down to the mat. Release the belly on the mat and inhale up to Sphinx. Taking your elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Press your elbows down into the mat and back towards yourself. Pull your wrists through.
Well, I love it, and I think next time instead I'm gonna have a mat. I actually bought one. My sponsor comes here, and I'm gonna get a mat. Got one.
Perfect.
And maybe next time I'll do it.
Yeah, please do.
So, how long have you been doing yoga?
I have been doing yoga for about 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, I've been teaching for about 2. I did my yoga teacher training in Brazil.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Very incredible. Big yoga community down there as well. So it was really interesting to see another culture's perspective on the practices too.
Awesome. So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Knoxville. I just did graduate school up in Boston, so I was living up there for about 3 years, and I taught yoga up there as well.
Oh, awesome. So do you just teach here at Renegade? Or?
Yes, I teach primarily at Renegade in Knoxville.
Awesome. Are you all vol? I have to know.
I don't follow sports. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let that go. We'll let that go, Knoxville. But, so what are some of the benefits? I know you can't speak from the recovery aspect of it, but I know that it's a new way for addicts, I guess, to stay clean because, you know, a lot of trauma and things like that. But just for the average person, you know, what are some benefits from yoga?
It is definitely in finding that clarity of mind, and then also finding silence in which to settle your thoughts. Stuff such as physical benefits. So you're going to gain a greater flexibility, greater balance, strength, etc., etc. And then I think there's a big benefit to be had through breath work, and expanding things like your lung capacity and your focus through breath work, I think is incredibly important. I think you can reach higher levels of consciousness that way as well. And then, just allowing the mind to really settle and just finding some space for self-care. So this hour is completely dedicated to you. It's whatever you want to do, and it's how you approach the practice that what matters the most.
Wow. Well, I gotta say, I am out of shape. And I sad to say, when I was in jail, I was in a program, and she had us close our eyes, and it was a grounding technique. We had to visualize our hands going, our shoulders, and I would start having panic attacks during this. So is that something that you do as well?
Yes, so that would be a meditative technique. We do in class today. We did that before Shavasana, and relaxing different body parts and doing a full body scan. So it is said that we store emotions in different parts of the body. So as you release tension throughout the body, there can be an emotional release as well. A grounding technique is very important to make you feel safe and secure. And that's super important for trauma survivors as well, especially in a yoga class, is to feel that connection to the earth. One thing I always tell people is to visualize roots growing out of their feet when they're finding balance, is to find that connection that way.
Okay. How long do you do the grounding technique, meditation?
It really just depends. If you're starting out like with the self-guided practice, you can just allow your mind to lead you as you'd like. For today's practice for Shavasana, I think it was about 2 minutes. And then just allowing people to kind of find that mental space after that once you do the full body scan.
How do you feel about, and I haven't done this in years, could you try that with me? I heard you talking, and I kind of felt anxiety setting in, but maybe you can demonstrate on me.
Yeah,
and I'm going to try it, guys. I'm going to try it. So how do you want me to do it?
All right, so just sit, close your eyes. You can take one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest if that's comfortable. Palms can be on the thighs if you want that grounding, or palms can face up if you'd like to be more receptive to different energies. Start to surrender, find some release. Relax your toes, feet and ankles, your calves, knees and thighs. Your hips are heavy like an anchor. Release the belly and the chest. Allow the breath to soften. Relax your fingers, hands, and wrists. Your arms melting.
So what exactly does it mean? I'm sorry, I'm crying.
Oh my gosh, no.
What exactly does that mean when you can't finish the exercise? What does that?
Okay.
What does that mean?
When I was in Brazil, I saw a shaman who did a lot of body work, and so he would do a lot of deep tissue massage and whatnot. And sometimes this would I would start crying uncontrollably.
Right.
It's just this. It's an emotional wave, so to speak. So you're slowly letting go of things, perhaps traumas from your past. I can't speak directly to your experience, but maybe just allowing yourself to sit with that emotion, allowing it to like flow through you, allowing to just yourself to coexist with it as well, and just seeing where do you feel it in the body. So just allowing yourself to feel your emotions.
I think my whole body is tense. I think that's why I have a problem. Like I said, my sponsor's always trying to get me to come here. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But then I'm like, no, because I know you got to relax and you got to
you got to chill out a little bit. Yeah, you got to breathe.
I don't really understand what it means to relax. I'm trying to learn. I was hit by an 18-wheeler 3 times in February.
Oh, wow.
And in physical therapy, she said that we are not even close to exercises. It's just the massages that I need because I'm so tense. Like feel that. I'm always.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm always like that. So for the regular person, it could be traumas. It could be emotions.
Physical, emotional. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I mean, what I might recommend, just as someone from a yoga background, is just spend 5 minutes a day trying that technique.
Okay. Can you do it yourself?
You can do
or-
it yourself.
Could you
Just
find
guiding
me?
yourself from the toes up your body, slowly relaxing. Find a moment where you feel that kind of emotional entanglement,
Okay.
and just breathe through it. Like I think I said it earlier. I don't know if you caught it. No state is permanent.
Yeah.
You know, like even pain changes. You know, it evolves. So
Right.
just know that that feeling isn't permanent, and it will flow through. And just allowing yourself to feel and sit with it.
This is awesome. I'm sorry. That's how I done. I mean,
Emotions are good. It's good for us to feel our emotions.
it's something about, you know, like I can do the feet, I can do the legs, but you know, it's my whole life I've been in fight or flight mode,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's kind of like I can't really like every time I relax, I want to start doing this. So
That's the great part of Renegade. It's a very safe space. Very safe space. We have people from all walks of life who come here. Like I said, Heather, for example, I would really recommend you talk to her. She, I believe, is involved with the Prison Yoga Project.
oh really?
Yeah, so I think so, or she has connections to it. So definitely check in with her, but
Almost
really
definitely.
try
I'll
to
be
reach
back.
out and touch base with her, just even for yourself, not necessarily, you know.
Just for the show.
Yeah,
yes.
not necessarily, but
Yeah.
for yourself too.
Um, Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk to you because you headed
yeah,
the class
totally.
tonight,
Yeah.
and I thought it was great how you went around and you know just you gently corrected people, and it's amazing down here. I came down here to speak with two other individuals, but they are not here when I'm bolted out of town on me. But most definitely we will be back, and this is Sophia, I am Della, and this is Progress Not Perfection. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Well, we are back here at Renegade, and I finally found the man, Jeff, that I have been looking for. And I want to make you completely aware this will be televised on KCM as well as my YouTube channel.
Sure.
Okay, verbal consent, that's what I need.
Yes.
Awesome. I came here last week and spoke with Sophia, and she did a real good job. I filmed a little bit of that class. But this week, guys, I didn't film the class. I was in the class. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's get to know you a little bit. Where are you from originally?
I was born in a very small town in North Mississippi. Most of my family, well, everyone I knew was born within a 75-mile radius of where I was born. But then we moved to Jackson, Mississippi when I was a young person, and then my dad was transferred to Oak Ridge. And we moved to Oak Ridge when I was in elementary school and lived there up until between 9th and 10th grade. I went to elementary and junior high in Oak Ridge, and then we moved to Knoxville, and I attended West High School right down the street. Went to UT for a couple of years. Really wasn't very focused, so I dropped out and began working. I worked at a department store, I worked at a hotel, and I had an opportunity to visit California, Los Angeles. And
Jealous. So jealous.
I moved out there, and I spent most of my adult life there until my mother was aging, my sister was still here and needed help taking care of my mother, so I moved back here 4 years ago.
And you've been here ever since?
Yes, and that's when I found Renegade. I came here first as a client, then I started working at the front desk part-time. cut to now, I have completed the 200-hour teacher training. I'm a YTT certified instructor. I have been the manager here for about a year and a half, and now I'm a partner in the business, and I'm currently enrolled in our 300-hour training. So in November, I will be a 500-hour certified yoga instructor, which I never dreamed of in my life. It was not on my vision board.
Right.
My life in Los Angeles was centered around drinking and partying. I worked in the entertainment industry, I worked in the special events industry. Both foster a lot of drugs and drinking. It's a very social atmosphere, and it's very widely accepted. And it was easy to fall into that. But 13 years ago, I got sober. I went to my first AA meeting, terrified, but knowing that I needed to change my life, and I never looked back. And I've been sober ever since.
Wow. So what's your clean date exactly?
March, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the 5th? It's March 5th.
March 5th?
Yeah.
13 years. Well, I am definitely proud of you.
Thank you.
And I love what you do here, and this is really awesome. The setup, the scenery, and everything. So I know, well, again, we'll get to that in a minute, but how is this beneficial, especially because this is classified as sober yoga, correct?
We call it sober yoga. This class that you attended tonight, it's really not much different from our regular yin classes that we have on Monday and Wednesday evenings, and we have one on Tuesday evening as well. Sometimes this class is a little more active. A yin class is very slow. You hold the poses for a long time. It's very chill. I like to teach a yin class on Friday nights especially, because I know when I've been coming to this class for 4 years now, and I always liked that kind of class at the end of the week, because it was a really good way to just let the whole week wash away and really relax. I always get a great night's sleep after I do a yin class. Some of the other classes that we teach are more active. There's a lot more standing poses, a lot more chaturanga, balancing. I think
I'm horrible at balance. I don't know if you've seen me, but basically you stand on one leg and you bring this leg up to right here and you do this.
tree pose.
The tree pose. I couldn't even get a branch going on. I just have horrible balance, and I found myself, well, last week when I spoke with Sophia, she tried I'm gonna have to go back, like a grounding technique, or a guided meditation, that's what it was. And I have problems with that, where your feet go in, feel your hips and then your arms.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. And I noticed that when I was doing yoga tonight, I cried 3 different times. I don't know how to release. So what can you tell me about that? Why can't I just let go?
Well, the first thing I notice when you say that is that you cried 3 times. That is a release.
Really?
Yes, being able to allow yourself to do that in a setting with other people. Not everyone is comfortable doing that. And so I don't know what you were feeling or what you were experiencing, but you were releasing something. So to say that you don't know how to release, you already did it.
I didn't think of it that way. But it just, I guess for 10, 15 minutes, I just stared at the ceiling and just, I kept trying to think of every reason in this world why I couldn't just relax.
Yeah.
When somebody says relax, I'm like, can you give me the definition for relaxation? Because I'm not really sure, but, a lot of trauma, I have a lot of trauma. I was in active addiction for over 20 years, so I started very young. But I do feel a little bit better. Like when I was walking up to the car, I didn't feel so like I don't know, like my body's tired and I'm hungry, but I can walk to my car easier. And I feel a little bit better, but you know, even going to physical therapy after my wreck, I've carried a lot of tension. So, yeah.
Well, most of us humans, whether we are in active recovery or have even had, you know, addiction issues, have suffered trauma of some sort, whether it's emotional, mental trauma, physical trauma, and we hold those feelings in our body. You know, we tense up in certain places when we get triggered by things, and those muscles don't always relax back. So over time, we can get clenched up and we can get knots in certain places. And you know, the body is made up of so many different components. I mean, of course, there's the bones and organs, and but there, you know, there are muscles, all the different muscle groups, our tendons, our ligaments, and then the fascia, which is the it's like a filament that, not a filament, but yeah, you know, that a sheath that holds the muscles together. And if we don't move all those different parts of the body and open them up in a somewhat organized fashion, they contract and they become tense. And that's where we hold the trauma. You know, we have a saying around here. We also have massage therapists here. So between, you know, yoga and massage therapy kind of go hand in hand. A lot of yoga instructors are massage therapists and vice versa. But the saying goes, the issues are in the tissues. And I don't know if you've ever, yeah, right. If you've ever had a massage, you know, there's certain places where it's just excruciatingly painful to be touched, right?
Right.
And when, you know, someone's digging in with their hands, you know, intentionally, and that's where all those traumas live.
Yeah.
And again, it could be physical trauma. It could be just from the way we walk or the way we drive our car. Or, you know, for men, carrying a wallet in your back pocket and sitting on it driving can cause you to walk differently. You know, because you're always sitting crooked. So I don't carry a wallet in my back pocket. I haven't done that for years. And you know, a lot of men aren't comfortable carrying a bag because they think it's a female thing.
Yeah.
I have lots of bags. I love bags. I love to put my stuff in bags and carry, you know, the less I have in my pockets, the better. Pockets are great too, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for someone like you, saying, I don't know how to release, I don't think that's true. I think you're just beginning to release.
Yeah.
And yoga is a practice. That's why we call it a yoga practice. It's something you have to do over and over again. And you go deeper, a little deeper each time. Well, not always. You know, maybe some days you don't get as much out of it, but everyone comes to yoga from a different place in life, searching for something different. But in the end, people who stick with it always achieve similar benefits. And that is a unity of mind, body, spirit, trauma release, relaxation, lengthening of the muscles, the fascia, the tendons, the ligaments.
I feel like my body, and I've said this before, it's a fight or flight mode.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know what the pose was called, but the leg was out and we had to bring the knee over and cross. And I just, like right here, it was just like, no, don't do that. Don't,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and I don't know why. I felt safe here, but it's hard to explain. I felt safe, but my body was just like, don't get too comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but I like it, and I think I'm gonna start coming back, hopefully once a week.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. I don't think that's, look, no one comes to yoga being able to do everything that everyone else in the room is doing.
Right.
And most people will never be able to do all the things the most advanced person is doing. But it's, I like to, even for myself, you know, but I always advise other people to use those people as kind of a guidepost of a goal to reach towards. But we don't teach with a scorecard here, so we're
That's
not.
good, because I probably would have
Yeah.
just saying.
We don't expect everyone to be able to do everything. We want you to do what you can, but do the most that you can.
Yeah.
You want to push yourself, but you don't want to injure yourself. So
Yeah.
discomfort is good, pain is bad.
I learned that also in physical therapy.
Yeah.
Because when I was a teenager, going down touching the floor, leg straight was no problem.
Yeah.
And now I think I got to probably that right here. Oh my
right.
God! Like,
Uh-huh.
what's going on with my body?
Yeah. Well, that's just what happens to our bodies over time if we're not continually stretching those muscles and breathing into. Remember, I kept saying to pinpoint that spot where you feel the most
Yeah.
resistance, tension, stress. Breathe into that, because that's where you're going to find the release.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. When you said breathe into the tension,
Mhm.
can you kind of explain that a little
Yeah.
bit? I think I know what you mean, but yeah.
Yeah. So let's say you've got your arm over your shoulder. You're reaching like this. For me, right now, I feel a little bit of pain in my upper shoulder, and I feel a little bit of pain down here in my side.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm going to hold that position, I'm going to focus on those areas. I'm going to be thinking about those areas. I'm not thinking about who's beside me, or where's my hand, or what's my head doing. As I breathe, I'm going to direct my thought to that specific area. And it's about connecting your breath with your thought and making your breath intentional so you can release that tension where you feel it the most.
That makes sense. Renegade is open to anybody that wants to come here, whether you're in recovery or not, correct?
Absolutely. The sober yoga class is designed for the recovery community, but we welcome everyone, whether it's someone seeking sobriety, whether they don't need sobriety, or they want to be supportive of the sobriety community. But my sober yoga mentor, who began this program, always says we're all in recovery from something. And that's true. Again, back to trauma. We all have some kind of trauma, whether it's self-imposed, or from an accident, or from physical abuse, or whatever, emotional abuse. And so it's an open class for anyone who wants to come.
So, do you pay for the class, or is it
It's
like...
Sober yoga on Friday nights is a donation-based class. Throughout the rest of the week, all the classes are paid classes. Some people pay a drop-in rate, which is $20, or some people pay a monthly unlimited membership, or buy class packs. There are a few different pricing structures that we have, but the Friday night class is always pay what you can. And that means pay whatever you want. We don't expect any certain amount. If someone doesn't have money to pay, it doesn't matter. Everyone's welcome to come and receive the benefits of it.
That's amazing. So if you're interested in coming to Renegade, if you look down, and again, I hope I'm pointing at the right place, people, this is the address to Renegade Yoga. And like you said, every Friday night it is, if you want to come, donate what you can. And once again, we're not promoting NA, AA, any type of anything, but this is definitely worth it. It's a new release, I guess, because I thought I was doing something wrong when I started crying. I felt anxiety, I wanted to quit, but I'm glad I went all the way through, except for the tree pose. That's, yeah. Well, I have 2 different sized legs.
Oh yeah, well, most of us do.
Yeah, I've had 2 surgeries and broke this leg 17 different times.
Oh my goodness.
So I have 2 different heights.
Yeah, okay.
So
Most of us do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's weird, but I think I'm gonna hold on to the beam next time until I can, yeah.
Well, it's not just our legs. Our bodies are not symmetrical. They look generally symmetrical, But if you actually, start measuring and moving your bodies in certain ways, you'll never be feeling the same things in the same pose on the right as you would on the left.
Right.
Yeah. So that's just something to be aware of, and that's just natural and normal for all of us.
That makes sense, because when I was trying to do stuff with my right leg, which is longer, I couldn't really do it. But the left leg was just like loosey-goosey.
Yeah. Perfectly normal.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, and I'm happy I finally got to meet you.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you for guiding me through it. And maybe next week we can film a little bit of you in a class,
Well, we do have rotating teachers in sober yoga. I don't know that I will be teaching it next week.
I'm glad I came this week then.
Yep. But it might be the founder of this class, and hopefully you will get to meet her at some point. She's a wonderful person who contributes a lot to the sober community, the recovery community. And so, yeah, if you're interested, go take a look at our website, renegadeyogacenter.live. You can find us on Instagram. And we appreciate it if you sign up for the class in advance for sober yoga. It doesn't cost anything. Just go to the class schedule and click book or sign up. I can't remember what the button says, but it'll prompt you to create an account. And that way we have you in the roster, and we have a good idea of how many people will be attending. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and a big hug.
yeah,
Yes,
you're
absolutely.
welcome.
And as
Thanks
it
for being
says,
here.
Namaste.
Namaste, namaskara.
Namaste. My name is Della, and this is Jeff, and this is Progress Not Perfection. We'll see you next time.